Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtai Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinam Namaste Saraswata Devi Gaurvani Tacharya Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desita Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahim Tata Swapada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Śrī Bhagavān Uvacha Mam hi partham vyapashritya yepi shu papayonayah striyo vaishyas tadha shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Srimad Bhagavad Gita 9.32 9.32 Mam hi partham vyapashritya yepi shu papayonayah Striyo Vaishyas Tada Shudras Tepi Yanti Param Gatim Mam Hi Partha Vyapashritya Yepi Shyu Papayonayah Striyo Vaishyas Tada Shudras Tepi Yanti Param Gatim. This is Śrī Bhagavān Vacha. So Bhagavan is continuing about his the confidential knowledge. So Bhagavan, having explained what bhakti is, how uh, his bhakti can be done, patram pushpam palam toyam, yadashnasi yad karoshi dadasi yat. So how to do bhakti? Like that, after explaining that, and then significance of bhakti, and then explaining how whoever performs Bhagavan's bhakti comes to Bhagavan. And who wants demigods, who worships demigods, they go to demigods. Like that. Bhagavan has explained all that. And in the previous verses, we noted how much Bhagavan loves bhaktas. Bhagavan said, I am generally neutral. I have no hatred. I have no raga attachment to anybody. But when somebody wants to come to me, wants to turn to me, then yes, of course, I pay special attention to them. And then Bhagavan explained, once they start doing bhakti and for some reason all of a sudden, if there is an accidental fall down, if they commit even abominable actions, still they should be considered sadhu as long as they're wanting to continue ananya bhakti to me. And like that, so my bhakta should still be called a sadhu, though there is an accidental fall down. And name bhakta pranashyati. declare that, Kaunteya, that my devotee will not perish because I will take care of my devotee. I am there for my devotee. When he's constantly thinking of me, doing my bhajan, repenting, he needs nothing else. Like that, Bhagavan is expressing his great love for his devotees. Nothing else needed. They just have to continue my worship and their repentance, fire of repentance, thinking of me. That's all. Just that, and will make them pure. Will make them pure again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's all they need. Like that. So Bhagavan expressed his great love for the bhaktas and the potency of bhakti. Bhakti doesn't need any other help at all. Even if one has to do the prayaschitta for falling in the lower modes, it's only bhakti that is enough to pick up a jiva from the lower modes and then place at the lotus feet of Bhagavan right away. That a heart burning with repentance and being with Bhagavan in the Nama. Krishna. Just that. One Nama of Bhagavan is also enough. With that fire of repentance. Because Bhagavan is right there in the Nama. Like that. So, Bhakti is that powerful. Bhagavan loves Bhaktas so much. And Bhaktas are not anathas, they are sanathas. Then now, Bhagavan is saying, what to speak of the devotees who are in good standard. In other words, good standard means they're generally prone to be in a better mode, in a better sattvic mode. For them, maybe easier to do bhakti, not just them, not just for them. It is understood that for them it can be easier to be in bhakti. But for those devotees, those souls who are naturally prone to be in a lower modes, Mam hi partha vyapashritya ye prishyu papayonaya. Papayonaya, who has sinful births. So, who are those souls who has sinful births? Striyo, the women, Vaishyas, Shudras, even these souls who take sinful births. Mam hi partha vyapashritya. If they take my ashraya, though they are born in, though they have sinful birth, te piyanti param gatim, they will also attain supreme destination. So Bhagavan is saying this. Actually, this is tattva when Bhagavan is speaking. Even the souls who has sinful birth, Papa Yonayaha, sinful birth. Papa is sinful. Sinful means sense gratification. Means sense gratification, not who are more inclined for sense gratification, not Krishna satisfaction. That is sinful birth. That is sin. Sin basically, in terms of Shastra, sin means sense gratification. So these souls who are born in sense gratification, Striyo, Vaishya, Tada, Sudra. Really? Women are like that? They are classified like a lower class people? Striyo, Vaishyas, Tada, the Vaishyas, the Shudras. So Vaishyas and Shudras are lower, Brahmana and Kshatriya are higher. Okay, that is understood a little bit. Brahmana, Kshatriya, because they have increased mode of goodness. Brahmanas have increased mode of goodness. Kshatriya, combination of goodness and a little passion. And Vaishyas, combination of passion and ignorance. Shudras, a lot of ignorance. Okay, in that category, because the Vaishyas and Sudras, they are in the lower modes, even if they are in the lower modes. Vaishyas, Shudras, understood, okay. We have to understand this category is predominance on the, what mode is predominant on that soul. That is the criteria of categorization of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Not categorization based on the birth. Somebody born in Brahmana, somebody born in Kshatriya. No. It is not birth-based categorization. It is mode-based categorization. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Based on which mode is predominant in that soul. In that way, if a soul is predominant in the lower modes, like in the passion and ignorance, then that is categorized as Vaishya, Shudra. So those souls that are in the lower modes, with predominance of lower modes, Vaishya, Shudras. Okay, understood. Based on the predominance of the mode. What about this? Strī, women, they are also sinful births. So all the men, they are better births. And Strī, they are sinful birth. This is Bhagavan is saying, what is this discrimination? Where are these women's rights? What is this literature? Sanatana Dharma, Bhagavad Gita. This is condemning women. Is it like that? Come on, bring in the women's rights now. What is this literature? This is very discriminatory literature. Is that how we understood? No. We don't have to bring any rights right here. We don't have to bring human rights here, women's rights here, nothing. We have to bring in our intelligence, that's all. How to understand this? See, Papa Yona is sense gratification. The science of the soul is this. The soul, when the soul, the subtle body of the soul, based on the subtle body of the soul gets a body, birth. So if a soul, the subtle body of the soul is so attached to this material world, so attached to this bodily identification, and then it gets a female body. So female body is generally known to have great attachment to the bodily identification. That is in general, bodily identification of I, my, and being greatly emotionally attached. These are all bodily identifications. So a soul that is greatly attached to the bodily identification, they end up getting this female body because it is known, this female body from all perspective, from a physical perspective and the placement of the, from a position that it takes in the family, the emotional attachment and attachment to this body. Like that is predominant in a female body. Bodily attachment is predominant in a female body. That is there. That is in general. But when it comes to devotion, there is no female or male. Devotion is so powerful. Even if a soul has a female body or male body, because the soul is practicing devotion, even though there is great attachment to this body, as a great attachment to this body, or even though there is predominance of lower modes like the passion and ignorance, in which this attachment is predominant, and generally that is in a female body. Even in their case, when there is great attachment to the lower modes and bodily identification, bhakti is so powerful. Attachment to Bhagavan, thinking of Bhagavan, and associating with Bhagavan in the Nama, taking shelter of the Bhagavan in bhakti, in Nama is so powerful. It doesn't matter how attached one is to the body, in which body they are, female or male, and how much of predominance of lower modes is. None of these things matter. Bhakti is so powerful that any soul can be picked up from the lower modes and can be placed at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhakti is so powerful and Bhagavan is so loving. That's the import of this shloka. And to show how glorious, how potent the bhakti is, regardless of one's placement in a specific body, and how attached a soul can be to that body, and how stuck the soul is in the lower modes. Regardless of all these things, te piyanti param gatim, everybody can obtain param gatim, the supreme destination. So this shloka is to show how potent bhakti is, regardless of predominance of the lower modes or identification with the body. Bhakti is so potent that it can place anybody at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Nothing can stop a soul, nothing external can stop the soul from being placed at the lotus feet of Bhagavan when the soul takes shelter of Bhagavan. That's the potency of bhakti. Srila Prabhupada, he has explained that in the purport. See the same purport, same shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Same shloka in Bhagavad Gita, if had to be explained by a smarta brahmana, anybody else, how would they explain him? It would go in a different direction, as if the strees are papayonis. But when the shloka Śrī Bhagavān Vacha is explained by a Bhagavata who is full of Bhagavan, then he explains how nothing can stop, nothing external can stop from receiving the mercy of Bhagavan. And the potency of bhakti is so great that all the souls can be placed at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, regardless of whatever body they are in, whichever mode they are in. That's why Bhagavan Vacha, Śrī Bhagavān Vacha may be there, But we need a Bhagavata Uvacha, Srila Prabhupada Uvacha to understand. When one understands this import, then nobody has to bring any rights in here. No human rights needed, no women right needed. We just understand. We have to understand what the soul right is, soul dharma is. That's all. There were attempts to explain this particular shloka, to change it a little bit and try to suit it to the modern audience of this world, to cater to the ideas of the women's rights, human rights, and saying that no, there is a little mistake here. This is what Bhagavan is saying. This is Prabhupada said so, but yes, the women should have equal right. So there were some attempts to explain Śrī Bhagavān Uvacha in a different way. And also there were incidents where a devotee started apologizing that Prabhupada did not write the purport well. That's not the understanding. We apologize. Women are also equal. What apologize? Who are you to apologize? When a Bhagavata Acharya is speaking, you understand Tattva, then you will understand Bhagavan Vacha. Bhakti cannot be understood from an emotional, moral, ethical platform. Bhakti is beyond this. Bhakti is to be understood in Tattva. And Bhakti shouldn't be tailored to meet the small minds of those who are for moral and ethical values. Bhakti is in Tattva. You don't try to tailor it and fit it in a box of ethical standard or moral standard, or to impress the audience. No, Bhakti is beyond all this. Bhakti is to be presented in Tattva, understood in Tattva, practiced in Tattva. You don't tailor the Bhakti, paint the Bhakti to fit it in the box of moral, ethical standards. We don't do that.